What up, it's Dane here. In this video I'm going to be telling you 9 ways in order to deal with hunger, right? And we all know when we go on a diet, hunger is the thing that keeps us from losing more and more fat, right? So let's get straight into the video. Okay, so step number 1 or tip number 1, whichever you want to call it, is eat more lean proteins, right? And research has been trying to find out if carbohydrates or fats blunt appetite in the short term, which is better for appetite. However, protein beats them both, man. Protein helps you feel fuller for longer, provides more satiety, and blunts hunger, man. That shit is magic. Now, when you eat this protein, make sure you eat the lean protein, so the low fat one like skinless chicken breast, whitefish, all these kinds of things, and you should be good to go just by eating a lot of lean proteins as well. It's actually quite hard to overeat on lean proteins, right? Because it fills you up so much, so keep that in mind. Eat more lean protein. Okay, step number 2 is eat more fruit, right? I see not a lot of people eat more fruit, especially when they get a lot of cravings. That's one tip I give a lot of people. When you start getting cravings, eat more fruit. Here's why. Fruit will replenish the glycogen stores, and it will send a signal to your brain, making you or telling your brain that you're a bit fuller now, right? So one little tip as well: when you eat a piece of fruit and you're really hungry, give it some time, right? Give it a few minutes. Don't just have one banana. If you're not full straight away, then have another one. Give it some few minutes, and then it will replenish your glycogen, your liver glycogen, in fact. So eat more fruit, man. I'm telling you, this is a top tip. Okay, tip number 3. This is a top tip as well. Eat more fiber. In fact, all of these tips are top tips. But the reason you should be eating more fiber, man, is it slows gastric emptying, and you, like it says it in the word, or gastric emptying is. And most foods that are high in fiber contain fewer calories but a lot of volume. Meaning, say if you eat a lot of vegetables, because vegetables contain a lot of fiber, it will make you feel, it will stretch your stomach, and when your stomach stretches, it sends a signal to your brain again that you're feeling full, right? So just by eating a lot of volume, like foods that are in a lot of volume, so volume basically means you eat a lot of it, but it's very low calorie dense, which means not a lot of calories. Basically eat a lot of high fiber foods, right? But make sure not to go way like berserk on fiber food just because I've told you this. Just have quite a lot of vegetables in your diet, but you don't need to go too crazy on the legumes and stuff like this. And legumes, if you didn't know, are like pinto beans, refried beans, all this kind of bean shit. Okay, step 4 is eat a moderate amount of fat, meaning I wouldn't really recommend people consume below 20 to 25% of dietary fat. And here's why. You need to understand that fat in the short term, it doesn't blunt hunger, or it doesn't blunt appetite whatsoever. However, it does keep you a lot fuller during the meals, right? So when you have a meal, don't just have, say, a chicken breast and sweet potatoes. Have some fat in there as well. Throw some avocados, and that will help you feel fuller during the meals. The reason being is it does also slow gastric emptying, the same as fiber. However, it doesn't have the appetite blunting effect. So fat, man, include that shit in your diet. Oh yeah, one more thing as well is that when you eat fat actually gives some taste to your food, right? Especially when you're in a diet. If you don't include a lot of fat in your diet, or just a moderate amount of fat, your diet will taste shit, right? So you'll probably be eating boiled chicken breast or broccoli, no spices, no oils or anything like this, and this will be very bland, meaning you won't be actually sticking to your diet for a very long period of time. Okay, the 5th one, and this is a hate-love relationship, meaning this will work for some people, this won't, and that's exercise, right? So first of all, you need to understand that when some people do exercise, they just can't eat anything after exercise. Their hunger is blunted to the max. Whereas other people on the opposite end of the spectrum, when they finish exercising, man, they want to eat like a horse or some shit. So keep that in mind. You can use exercise, but see if it works for you, see if it doesn't. And one more thing as well, you need to know when you first start an exercise program, your blood glucose levels may crash, right? Because you are starting a new program, and that will actually make you feel very hungry just after exercising. So maybe after a few weeks, see if you're still doing that. If your body's still doing that and you're still feeling hungry, then I suggest you don't use exercise too much in order to control your hunger on a diet, right? Okay, number 6 is intermittent fasting. And if you know me already, I'm big on intermittent fasting. In fact, I'm starting intermittent fasting today because I'm going on my cut. However, I do recommend people do intermittent fasting if this is you, right? If you're a person that doesn't like to eat breakfast in the first place, then why bother eating breakfast? Because you just got to get calories in when you don't need to. And one thing a lot of people don't know is when you wake up in the morning and that hunger sensation, that's actually your body is deprived of water. It hasn't got enough water in the system. I bet you if you wake up, you have the hunger sensation, you drink a lot of water, it'll go after a few hours, I guarantee you. So consider intermittent fasting. You can use any protocol that you like. However, I do recommend people just follow the lean gains approach, the 16-8 protocol. However, it's definitely up to you. Now, the reason why I tell people to do intermittent fasting is, say there's like a 5-foot female or something like that, so the calorie intake that they need per day in order to lose fat is really, really low. Let's say 1,200 calories. They're not going to be satisfied at all if they have, like, say 3 to 4 meals a day. That's going to have to be like 300, 400 calories per meal, and that's not a lot at all. So doing intermittent fasting allows you to, you say 4 hours, you have a 4-hour feeding window or maybe a 6-hour feeding window. They can still eat a considerable amount of food in order to make them feel satisfied. So consider IFing. Okay, step number 7 is using appetite suppressants, right? And if you know me already, man, I'm not big on supplements, and I don't recommend you even start with this. At least try the natural things first, right? All the other ways, at least try them first. And when you want to take an appetite suppressant, I generally recommend you take this shit when you're very, very lean, right? So just lose all the fat you can without like feeling shit. And when you start feeling really bad, when you get to low levels of body fat, maybe you start increasing appetite suppressants. Now, an appetite suppressant that I know is very well researched, and I haven't taken this personally, however, it's the EC stack, the ephedrine caffeine stack. So you can take this. It increases the metabolic rate slightly and does provide some appetite suppressants, so keep that in mind. If you want, you can take these. However, like I already said, I do recommend a low levels of body fat when you're struggling with dieting. Okay, step number 8, and this is so simple, man. Just be more flexible with your diet. Meaning, just include foods in your diet that you actually enjoy, right? I'm tired of seeing people go on, say, the ketogenic diet, the Atkins diet, all of these like set protocols, and then they just go off them after like 1 month and they haven't lost a lot of weight at all. So the best diet, and I say this all the time, is the diet that you can stick to, and this applies to your training program as well. So when you're going to diet a low calorie diet, don't just buy vegetables that you don't like. Maybe if you don't like any vegetables, you're going to have to buy some foods that you don't like, but if you can just buy all the vegetables and fruits that you enjoy, then you can eat them the most. Even though they're low calorie, you will stick to your diet. So include your foods in your diet that you can stick to, and that would be the best diet for you. Also, one more thing as well, if you do have cravings while you're on this diet, don't worry too much, right? When you get to very low levels of body fat and you start having a lot of cravings, it is okay to eat those cravings every once in a while. And being very, very harsh on yourself is actually going to be detrimental, because say if I eat 5 cookies instead of like a whole box of cookies that contain like 1,000 calories, or this could be any food like chocolates or anything like this. Just be more flexible. If you have a craving, eat it in moderation, and that's done, put it away. Instead of, if you have a craving, like just eat one and then you're gonna think, oh fuck this, man, I'm gonna eat the whole box in your whole diet. That's when you're gonna cause some damage, so keep this in mind. Okay, number 9 is just deal with it, right? So first of all, you need to understand that when you go on a diet, man, people just think you're gonna go on a diet without being hungry. Of course you're gonna go on a diet and you're gonna be hungry. Of course this is gonna happen, because your body is losing fat, is in a deprived nutritional state. So keep that in mind. When you're dieting, expect hunger. However, when you first started dieting, like the first few weeks, you shouldn't get really, really hungry, depending on how big your calorie deficit is, obviously. If your calorie deficit is, like, say, you're eating 1,000 calories below your maintenance levels, then maybe, yeah, you're going to be quite hungry throughout the day. However, if it's like, say, 500, even lower than that, you shouldn't be too hungry until you get to low levels of body fat and your hormones have hit rock bottom. So, basically, this was 9 ways to deal with hunger on a diet, and you can use all of these ways. Personally, I probably used half of these ways, and like I said, probably the main important thing of this video is lean proteins, right? So consume a lot of protein. Like I said, it does blunt appetite, even for overweight individuals that don't actually need a lot of protein. And for those people that don't weight train, I still recommend a high protein because of these effects. So keep all this stuff in mind. Now, one little bonus tip I'm going to throw in here is coffee. Coffee does actually blunt appetite. However, I do recommend you don't consume this as soon as you wake up, because if you consume this way too much, meaning like 4 + 5 cups a day, and when you just wake up straight away and you don't sip on it regularly, you just drink all of it in one go, your body will become immune to this. So it won't give you the same response of the appetite suppressor. So basically, I recommend 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day. You can probably go as high as 3. However, just keep that shit in moderation. Now, I always say that shit. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, let me know down below. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for 3 videos a day, providing too much value for you. Stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.